Parliament O Papas. And this is when you brought it. I'll let you to kick it off there, Joe.
But it was in the list, and I didn't put it there, so I'm assuming you did.
All right, well, I'll do it then.
I will introduce it if you want,
no,
because apparently you don't want to take ownership of your own ideas. Ideas are cheap.
I'm sorry.
I got this.
I carried your water all the way here, and you know.
Best family vacation spots, theme parks, national parks, road trips. What makes for the best memories?
Sitting at home, letting them leave you alone.
Man.
My family is all into adventure and experiences. So for us, it is not necessarily like going to the theme park, but we made an adventure out of going up to Dollywood. We had, as you know,
I'm trying to go there.
Oh,
I've never been there.
It's fantastic.
I'm so excited because I'm from New York, but I live in Atlanta now, so I get to do things. Like we went to Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
And I was like, Gatlinburg is so corny and kitschy, but I love it.
Have you been to Helen?
Yes, we've been to Helen.
Okay,
at the tree lighting, we were there. Like we do all that. We don't care. We're tourists. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay. I went to New York. I went to New York and looked up at the buildings. So, you know, we all do touristy things.
Got a crick in your neck?
Yeah.
From looking
you
up?
You got to do touristy stuff when you live there, too. Like, wherever you live. Like, when we lived in New York, we started doing, like, touristy stuff. Like, I took the kids to the top of the Empire State. But people don't do that when you live there. You got to do the touristy stuff where you live.
Yeah.
Like, we take it for granted. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
I know you're fine, but do it. Take your kid.
Yeah, Dollywood's on the list.
Dollywood.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So we actually made a whole little weekend out of it where the kids call him Uncle Hugh. He's been a long time friend of mine since before they were born, all that jazz. He flies in from Rhode Island, and we go do something together. Like he's coming in tomorrow night. We're gonna hang out all Memorial Day weekend and whatever. And so we made this adventure where we went up to Dollywood, stayed in an Airbnb, and just you had some downtime where you grilled out on the back porch and just hung out. Because even though you still have your devices, it's just not the same as being at home.
Yeah.
And so you talk more, and we played some video games, and we went and found a bunch of mountain coasters. If you haven't done a mountain coaster, Manny, you need to do a mountain coaster.
I don't know what that is. I'm very removed from rural white America. So I need some.
That is so fair. But it's touristy. You gotta do the touristy.
Yeah,
thing.
no, I get it. I love it. I'm here for it. Like people are like, you want to like, I get it.
It's literally a gravity driven little plastic cart you sit in and you go down the mountain.
Oh, they got them in Gatlinburg. We saw them going down the thing. Okay, yeah.
They have them all up in the mountains.
It was like we were like there in April. Like we had a little cabin with the fireplace. It was cold. I was like, I'm not going down that thing in the cold.
In the cold, yeah.
Yeah. So, but okay, fair enough. Good, cool. Oh, look, in the chat, Yvonne. That's by the way, that's Mrs. Faces. She said we almost did it, but it's too cold. Look at us.
Yeah.
She knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, we were there.
Well, we got to teach her online security. It should say Lady Faces.
I know. It's okay. Look, I put out the book, and the book came out on my government name, and it was a big, long, decision that I had to make. So, yes, I did dox myself, but it's all good.
You know what? Bad things happen to bad people.
I'm not worried about it.
You're good people. It's good.
Unless you're a bill collector, then my name is Manny Faces. You don't know me. There's no credit report for Manny Faces.
But I think so. Even we've taken the older kids to Disney twice, the younger kids once, and we're actually planning a trip in the spring. We're saving up all the pennies to take them to Disneyland because I've got a kid who'll be 21 next spring, and then the next one will be 20, and so we're doing one last big family vacation.
Yeah.
But it's not just about Disney for us. It is about the experience of the airplane and the location that we're in. I'm the only one in the family who's been to California, and so experiencing California a little bit and experiencing a dip. But we just don't go and stand in line and we plan the day. So you go in the morning, we do a bunch of stuff. We go back to the house in the afternoon and chill out. Go back in the evening, and so it's a flow of experiences and very little money on garbage because I hate that stuff because they never care. And what's great about my family is we've raised them to where photos are their best souvenirs. They really like, if we go on a roller coaster and they made that funny face, we'll buy them the photo, but we take photos, that kind of thing. So for us, it is about the experience more than the destination. What about you guys?
Growing up, my dad was all about road trips. So we we drove across the country several times while I was growing up, which, you know, we got to see a bunch of different things, stop at different historical places, and but it wasn't. So we would stop along the way, but we were always going to visit family. Like the destination at the end was to visit family. So like when we were living in Washington, we drove all the way across country to Philadelphia to visit family. And one of those times was with our Bobcat in the car with us. And so that was, so man, I've told the story before, but we had a pet Bobcat when I was younger. No, we had a pet animal Bobcat.
See, again, I'm not very familiar with a rural white America.
Yeah, no, that's some crazy Mormon stuff, man.
No, it's good. That's why I had to ask. I'm
just saying, I've been invited to a few barbecues. I don't think Joe's ever been invited to a barbecue.
Are cool. Like, why not? Go ahead. I'll let you. Yeah. Not an ocelot, but go ahead.
Not an ocelot. Nope.
Okay. Right.
They're endangered. At least they were.
Right. Of course. Bobcats. Yeah.
Bobcats. They're all
Bobcats. An ocelot. That'd be crazy. But a bobcat. No problem.
Exactly. Exactly.
Understand now.
But as an adult with my kids, we go to the beach every year with my in-laws, and that's a much shorter drive. But it's all about spending quality time. I don't think it ultimately matters what you do so much as who you do it with, and making sure that everyone has fun as well. Because I've been on vacations where there were some people that are just miserable the whole time. Now sometimes it was their own attitude that really should have been changed.
Yeah, Kelsey.
Because you can extend olive branches and try to do things that they would like, but you know, some people just have bad attitudes. But anyway,
and if the Bobcat ran out of cigarettes, forget it. The Bobcat was like, I am grumpy. I need a fix. I understand.
You know what's funny? Okay. So Andrew put up this thing. Now, Andrew, y'all need to like and subscribe. You're adding to the show. I need you to come back, add more to the show, Andrew.
Yeah.
Because is this like
be here for me?
Yeah. He goes, is this like The Hangover? Let me just tell you, I've referenced Mormonism at least 3 times now because I don't know why I just triggered. Joe is a living, breathing Mormon. So was his dad, and the stories from this family is like Mormon Hangover. It's I'm not kidding. He cheated at NASCAR. Literally, was like a NASCAR driver. Yeah, cheated at NASCAR. Revved his motorcycle because he's pissed at the preacher, and it's something about motorcycle. I don't know. But
those are very skewed versions of the stories. But
I mean, totally. It's all over the place. But it is Joe's life. Yeah, when you meet him, he's I'm a programmer, I'm a dad, and I'm a Mormon. And then he tells one story like, no, this is Hangover 4, man. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think I've ever gone out of my way to be like, in an introduction, be like, I'm a Mormon.
That's your go-to every time. I've told you to stop doing it. Cut it out of the show.
I mean, it has come up. Like I didn't tell you that I'm a flying spaghetti monster, follower of the...
Oh, classic.
I'm a nerd. I know these things. I'm that nerdy, bro.
Man, the flying spaghetti monster bless you. All right. So, Manny, where's yours?
Oh, God. Also road trips. For a good decade, we had no choice but to take road trips. We had a dog. Now, people have dogs. They take the dogs on the road. It's fine. Sometimes you don't. You board them. You put them in a kennel or whatever, and maybe have to fly on a plane and go somewhere. You can't take your dog. We had a dog named Max, and rest in peace, Max. Good dog. He was handicapped. So after 4 years, perfectly good dog, perfectly, and then he broke. But he basically how we would say, like, we got a herniated. They give you a spit test on that, Joe. I was timing it. I was trying to get it. I didn't know if there was a lag. But I was going for it. You need a new keyboard, my bro. You need a new keyboard. So we had Max for a while, and he was 4 years old, and he was like running through the house, and he kind of, and like we were like, oh, what's that? He's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, all right. And then he came to bed later on. He was like, no, I'm not good. And he basically, what we would call like a herniated disc.
Yeah.
Like we'd be like, oh God, got to go to the hospital. Dogs are like, I'm just going to keep running. And when you just keep running, it kind of basically like you get paralyzed. And so he was paralyzed from like the middle of the back part of his back down. What that means to have to help a dog do the natural things that animals and people do is we won't go into that. But for 10 years we raised Max, handicapped, perfectly handicapped. He would slide around the house like a seal. He would like slalom and bring him around. He had a little wheelchair when we take him out. He was freaking awesome. He was dope. We had to actually what's called express his bladder, right? We had to basically squeeze the pee out of him. And then he would just like poop wherever the hell he wanted. So it was absolutely unsanitary household. No, we kept it clean. He kept it good. We got his patterns down pat, but we couldn't, like, not a lot of kennels can take care of a dog in that situation. Like, you got to be really, a lot of people can take, and I get it was a lot. And like, we were like, what the hell are we doing with our lives? But we did it, and we did it for 10 years. So we did always take road trips. So it was a thing, Airbnbs near the caverns in Virginia, back when we were in New York, Niagara Falls, but it was the road trip, staying together, being with Max, being us, all together as a family, letting the kids see like different just parts of, America, doing New York City things, even though we were in New York, and doing the touristy things. It was not like a cow, Andrew. I didn't like it wasn't like that. It was like you kind of squeeze it, like, it's hard to explain. Like a hot water bottle. Yeah, I don't know what hot water bottles are. I'm
Capri
like
Sun. It's like a Capri Sun.
Yeah, it's like a Capri Sun. You squeeze and anyway. Like a cow. I'm not like taking the dog off. But yeah, anyway, so because of that, we took a lot of road trips. And so the kids knew like that was it. And we had our little, we had our road gear. We took like 8-hour road trips, 16-hour road trip. We came to Atlanta. Went to, Canada, Toronto from New York was like a 10-hour drive. And we would just do that. And, sometimes we'd plan, stops along the way. Could we stop in DC and let them walk around the DC stuff and see the pencil and see the Capitol building and see the memorials and do all the touristy stuff. So yeah, it was a lot of road trips. And it was a lot of good memories because, we had our boy with us and that was sort of like how we rolled. So yeah. Road trips are key. They're fun.
Yeah, that's what made Joe and I. We were co-hosts a while back, and until you really get to know somebody, you don't get to know somebody. And we ended up being able to go to this festival in Chicago for the show we were doing, and neither one of us wanted to fly, so we just took a car, 14-hour ride up, and everything else was taken care of. You either love somebody or hate somebody after a 14-hour road trip.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how we came out. We're still figuring that part out. But we're here. We're here.
And I gotta say, like the driving across the country thing, like one of the kind of like, now getting to be bucketed list, kind of ideas is like, have an RV and just kind of go and just be like, we're gonna take, a month and just plan it all out and go from like, Atlanta to Seattle and just, hit up all so like things like that. So I would love to do, because we really do love kind of the road trip ethos, and not fully bought in because we don't have an RV because I can't afford one. But if we could, we'd probably then go somewhere.
I wonder if there's places where you can rent RVs from.
We looked into it. You can. You can.
Okay.
A little pricey. Yeah. But it's something that if things work out, we'll probably talk to me in 5 years, and we probably got one little hitch kind of joint, and we're gonna just go somewhere and decide, take the dogs, plug into a campground, and who cares about an Airbnb, and we'll be I'm not saying we campers, again, I'm not familiar with the rural white aesthetic. I'm not going out there, doing all that.
Joe went camping in a snowboro, just so you know. Okay.
And yeah. I mean, we'll do some things. Let's just say. So yeah, but I enjoy the road trips. We took baby girl Faces to the resort. We flew to Jamaica. We did it was cool. She had a great time, blah, blah, blah. But I'd much rather, hop in a car and take a 5-hour drive to Savannah, and then spend a weekend out there doing the ghost tours and doing touristy stuff. It's yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts, Manny?
I mean,
all right, we're gonna have you back on to have that discussion.
I'm gonna say I'll say this real quick. Generally, no, but there are probably, and we don't have to go into it now, but there's probably 2 or 3 instances in my life that I don't know. There was something else happening there. So generally, no. I'm a very logical, scientific kind of, atheist kind of for the most part. However, there's a few things that happen that makes me just hold out hope. Or hold out, not close the door on any of that stuff. 100% that I will absolutely say to this day, like, I can't explain it any other way. So no, but maybe.
Right.
Yeah. There's something going on in the ether. Yeah.
Apparently, your wife's all about a road trip to Utah.
Oh, yeah. So I actually got people in Utah. Shouts to Tasha, Dr. Tasha Iglesias. Utah's beautiful. Like, that's one of the places. Like, that's the thing. We have like a few places like, oh, Utah, because the beauty and the natural, rocks and stuff, that we'd want to go to, like, that are kind of like, you wouldn't go there to like, vacation necessarily, but you would go there to like go to enjoy the trip there and then enjoy the being there. And then, so Utah is definitely like high on that particular list. Yeah.
So Andrew's an interesting cat. My sister was on Good Morning America as they believed ghosts were in the house. So they use a special ring tool to video surveillance any ghosts.
I'm going to guess they didn't surveillance any ghosts.
Yeah, I don't have that upgraded on my ring. I don't have the ghost package.
My Simply Safe is like, I don't know, just call the cops.
Yeah.
Safe. Call the cops. Okay, you call the. You're Simply Safe. You call the cops. It's like, yeah.
And then the ghost pops up. I'll call the cops.